The first strategy of Satan is to make sure that people deny the existence of God. But if peradventure you find yourself believing in God, then Satan tries to attack what you think God thinks of you. Many times there is what God thinks of us, and what Satan tries to make us think that God thinks of us. And if you are not thinking of yourself the way God sees you, then it becomes a challenge to become all that God expects you to be. The Israelites were trying to invade Jericho, the promised land. The Bible says Moses sent 12 spies, and when they came back, they brought what God considers evil report. What was the content of that report? It was that they were not able to take the city, and worst of all, that they said that they looked like grasshoppers in the eyes of the giants. They never spoke to any of the giants, but they were reasoning for the giants, and they presumed to know what the giants thought of them. And if you follow that story later, what happens was that God did not let them enter the promised land. God made them wander for 40 years. But now in the days of Joshua, number one was that he sent just 2 spies. Number 2 was that when these 2 spies got into Jericho, the Bible says they got into the house of Rahab the harlot. And when Rahab was reporting to them, Rahab was saying that we know that you have already taken the city, and that the fear of God has already invaded this city, and that we remember the things that your God did to the Egyptians. This was 40 years after they had crossed the Red Sea. That Rahab was saying that 40 years after, we still remember what your God did to Pharaoh and how he parted the Red Sea. That means the people of Jericho did not forget what God did to Egypt 40 years after. If that matter was still terrifying them 40 years after, how do you think they felt when it first happened? If 40 years after, Jericho was still afraid of the Israelites because of the ability of their God, how do you think Jericho felt when Moses led the Israelites to the brink of Canaan? That means the report of those 12 spies that Moses sent was evil, because it was nowhere near what God thought of them. It was an insult to the ability of God to take them to the promised land. And it was even a lie, because it was not how the people of Canaan truly felt.